All right, well, jury selection begins tomorrow in the involuntary manslaughter case against Jennifer Crumbley, the mother, of course, of the Oxford High School shooter.
Court just announced today that her case will go first, then her husband will be tried in March. Christy McDonald has a closer look at what the prosecution will have to prove in a historic and emotional case.
When Jennifer and James Crumbley walk separately into courtrooms in Oakland County, the country will be watching.
How significant is this attempted prosecution of these parents of a school shooter?
Yeah, it is historic.
The Crumbleys charged each with 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter after their son opened fire in Oxford High School over 2 years ago, killing 4 students. It's a first-of-its-kind prosecution. Defense attorney George Danini from Butzel walks us through what to expect.
Explain for us what they're facing.
You either have murder or manslaughter. But again, typically it's about what did the person do to the victim, and here it's what did indirectly what was done, and that's what makes it harder, I think, here.
Explain criminal negligence in this case.
So is the bad event, was that foreseeable, and were there things that you could have done to prevent it?
And so foresee is really the key here.
So I think that's right, and I think you're going to see that as part of the defense. I would imagine the defense is going to say, what parent could have foreseen something like this happening by their own child?
Let's talk about evidence and what evidence is going to be very important here. Here we have clear signs, things that they saw, things that the school pointed out that they neglected to act upon. And I think the biggest thing is they, or at least the father, purchased the gun that was used to commit this offense. They refused to remove him from the school. He remained at the school, and obviously what happened happened. And I think that's the point that the prosecution is going to make. Had they done something, they could have avoided this. We know that a judge has thrown out that prosecution can't talk about affairs. They can't talk about the bird torture. They can't talk about how messy the house was, alcohol use, pot use. But what can be put into evidence is the money and the time that Crumbley spent on other activities like horses and their son playing violent video games.
The judge trying to do a balancing act about what should come in, what shouldn't. So yeah, something like an extramarital affair really doesn't go to this issue.
What will be admissible? Video of the shooting and testimony of 2 witnesses, a teacher and assistant principal. And remember, the Crumbleys will be tried separately. They're now co-defendants, not on the same team.
What would you say to people who are watching this and how they should watch it with a critical eye?
Look, emotion is very much involved in a case like this, but should somebody be held criminally responsible for somebody else's conduct? And I think that's something that we should pay attention to. Here maybe the answer is going to be yes, but some may say that's going too far. With the criminal justice system,
Couple things to remember here. Jury selection starts tomorrow. This is such a public case. Both the prosecution and defense will go through the jury pool to make sure that they can seat a jury that will carefully weigh the evidence that's presented to them in court. It's going to be a long several months for the prosecutor's office as well, who will have 2 of these trials. So make sure you follow the case on Local 4+. We're going to be streaming it each day live from court once a jury is seated here. Download the Local 4+ app on your television, wherever you get your streaming apps. Just search for Local 4 and then follow us on the go on clickondetroit.com. We'll have it there for you.
And another hard day for families to have to know that this is
through it
going
all
on.
again.
A lot for the Oxford
Again.
community to be able to hear some of these things.
And we've seen parents held responsible for, say, leaving a gun around, things like that. We've never seen a parent charged in a mass shooting. This really is a groundbreaking approach.
Absolutely. Involuntary manslaughter,
Yeah.
criminally, not civilly, criminally.
Criminally, yeah. All right, Christy.